So just like example 6, we have formulas here in example 7, and it says solve c equals 2 pi r for r. So that means get r by itself. So I'm going to write it up here. C equals 2 pi. It's not writing. R. Okay? So I want to get r by itself. So I've got a 2 and a pi that are multiplying. So I want to do dividing. So I'm going to divide. What wrong color I don't want. I'm going to divide by 2 and pi. Remember, I want to bring everything to the other side of this. So the pi's cancel out and the 2's cancel out. But I haven't kept this thing in balance. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So some of you find this weird because you're used to having numbers that you calculate. In this process of solving, we're not getting any numbers. We're just moving things around. So I'm left with r equals c over 2 pi. Okay, it's the same formula written a different way so you can get r quicker. So they told you now that we have the circumference, okay, I can plug that into here and go straight to r. I don't have to do it with numbers. I can do it straight in if I remember that formula. So I'm going to write it over here. I'm going to write r equals c divided by 2 pi. And c, we said, is 44 inches divided by 2 pi. So I just need to type that on the calculator and I can go straight to my answer here. Okay, so I'm going to type that. Now be careful on your calculator, since both 2 and pi are dividing, make sure you put it in parentheses. So on your calculator you're going to type 44 divided by, this is on your calculator, 44 divided by parentheses 2 pi, so they both divide. If you don't put the parentheses, it just divides by 2 and then it multiplies by pi. So this is what I'm going to type on the calculator. So I'm typing that in, 44 divided by parentheses 2 second caret key, remember that's above the division sign, pi, and I put it in parentheses, and I got r equals 7 point, basically 00, and we were talking about inches. Okay, so there is part 1 of there. So part 2 of it, now they're doing volume, but it's going to work the same way. It says solve for r. Okay, now we're going to have a bit of a weird thing happen. So don't freak out when I do this. We've got the volume here, and so we have to move everything over. So I'm going to write that formula right here. V equals 4 divided by 3 pi r cubed. Okay, and a lot of you are just going to freak out because you see this fraction here. What do? Well, the fraction means, in this case, this 4 is multiply, and this 3 is divide. So why don't I multiply everything by I'll multiply by the opposite. Well, the opposite of dividing is multiplying, and the opposite of multiplying is dividing. I'll multiply everything by 3/4. And so what do I get? 3/4 times v. 3v over 4 is the same thing. Then this 3 and this 3 cancel out. This 4 and this 4 cancel out. It's gone. And we're left with pi times r to the 3rd power, or pi r cubed. Now we still have this pi in front. So I'm going to do my work here. I'm going to divide it by pi. And here I'm going to divide by pi. Good night, Irene. See you later on that. And I'm just going to change the order. I'm going to write r cubed first and put the other stuff on the other side. And I'm going to get 3v over 4 pi. And when you do this on the calculator, put that there on the calculator. Okay, so we've got our formula. Okay, well, we got one other problem. How do I get rid of r cubed? How do I undo cubing? Well, when it was r squared, we did square root. So if it's r cubed, is there an opposite of cubing, or r to the third power? Well, there is. It's called the cubed root. Okay? So you're going to want to write this down, because on the calculator, how do you get the cubed root? Okay, how do you get the cubed root on the calculator when you need it? Here's how you get it on the calculator. You type the math button. Okay, so there's math. Once you type math, if you look down at number 4, you get this kind of thing looking. Sometimes it has parentheses. There's your cubed root button. There's your cubed root button when you need it. So that undoes cubing. So that's what I'm going to do here. I still have to do this formula here. I need to undo here. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So really my formula is going to be, this cancels out this. I'm going to get r equals the cubed root of 3v over, and I'm going to put in parentheses 4 pi because it's going to help on the calculator. Okay, so there's my answer in blue. Now I need to make some space so I can actually do the problem. So I'm going to erase